Christmas too. We must be your Christmas presents. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good.
Excellent. Energy too? I mean, you got energy.
Good.
I got to check. Is that coffee still?
So everybody's feeling pretty good this morning?
Yes.
Ready for the new year?
That's right.
Ready for the new year?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go talk about it. That sounds a little better. I was starting to wonder for a second, make sure everybody's doing pretty good. Just out of curiosity, where's everybody from?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
DC.
DC.
Got my keys in?
So that's heaven or hell? Right in the middle.
Okay.
We got DC, we got Baltimore, Bowie,
Montgomery County.
Montgomery, Columbia.
My mother and father.
Charles County, St. Charles County, Waldo Brown.
Well, first of all, thank you again for coming to this. What is this? About the 5th year of the Real Deal.
Yeah.
Of the Real Deal Investment Club. As a matter of fact, we have the largest real estate meetup in the region with over 1,300, 1,300 members. Actually, we get 2 members every day. I started doing the math for that, so by the time we get to June, it'll be around 15, 16. And it's all because of something that we started 5 years ago when we said, what will this meeting be about? And we made a decision that it was going to be about you. It was going to be about the realness that's in real estate investing. And that's where the name came from, the real deal. Because you'll hear us talking about all kinds of subjects. I promise you that you will not hear from the gurus and so on. Subjects like going into houses and seeing crack files and all this other stuff, and you can name it.
Yeah, everything. Well, one thing when Charles and I were getting together and working in real estate, we started to notice there was a big difference between those who were doing deals and those who weren't doing deals. What we also noticed was that conversation. Now, we go and travel all around the U.S. public speaking, as well as in various mastermind groups. And some of the information that comes out in those mastermind groups people just don't know about those information. They just don't share. So we say, you know what? Why not? It's really been an environment or world where there's enough for everybody to have. There's not a situation of scarcity. There's not a situation to where if we know something, or one way we want to have it is we're going to share it. If anything, it works in reverse. The more you give, the more you receive, which gives you more to give in return, and it just keeps working like that. So what we decided to do is say, hey, let's start sharing, start giving information as we learn what we get from these groups. So traveling around the U.S., getting information from these mastermind groups. These mastermind groups, some of these groups, they literally cost $10,000 to even join the group.
$100,000 a year.
Exactly, to join the group. So then these groups that we keep network with, produce information and start bringing it back. So what we started doing was sharing this information. And we said we need to let them know. And so one thing that we did, letting everyone know, we're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly. We're talking about everything from, pretty much you name it. The truth about making $100,000 in a deal. Is it $100,000 or is it $50,000? What works and what doesn't work? What's the hype and what's real? What's really good and what really isn't good? And from really working with so many people, Charles and I sat down and talked about what type of personality actually converts and works. And said, well, since we learned this much information, let's share it with you that you know what works there to help you.
And that's what the philosophy of this group is. It's a way of giving back. When we started this group way back when, we didn't know that the reciprocity would just be so overwhelming. Our success has come directly from giving. When I do presentations, I don't sell anything in front of the room because I love giving content presentations. But I get a lot of gratification from people saying, hey, you did this and this was fantastic and you told us about this, yada, yada, yada. Now, what I want to know is about you. Every meeting starts off with an introduction to who's here today. And we're going to start on this side of the room and work our way down. Let us know exactly who you are. Give us an elevated pitch about your businesses and services and how you can best help the members in the realty.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Robert Meyer. I'm a longtime real estate investor, and I will be a hard money lender after the first of the year.
Oh, money, guys. Yep. There you go.
I'm also a chartered financial consultant and insurance agent. I've really been around the world a lot. So, but generally what I like to do is just help people. You find, just by talking to them that you can help them through situations. The good news is I've already been burned enough on real estate deals. I know what the bad ones are. So, anything I can do to help you all, but I'd love to help you all from a financial standpoint, meet your dreams and goals.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. My name is Darryl Jacobs. I'm a wholesaler. I'm always looking for cash buyers, and my specialty is HUD deals. So basically, and also here to learn.
Why HUD?
HUD because I'm just trying to find a niche that works for me and work it instead of being everywhere because it's so big.
Right.
So and I've been successful with this thus far.
There you go. I like that.
Clyde Harrison, just an investor. Deals, just please let me know.
Welcome.
Peter Crawford, realtor for 30 years, general contractor for 2 years. Did a couple rehabs in Baltimore 3 years ago. Want to get back into it and buy them and flip them.
Welcome, Peter.
Good morning, my name is Derek Brown. I have a company called Elegant Kitchens and Baths. And we generally work with real estate investors, multi-property management. And I like to serve the Baltimore and Washington area. Like to fly it, have some over there on the table. And first of the year, I hope to get more real estate investing and combine up with my company as a kitchen and bath specialist.
Welcome, Eric.
My name is James Hudson. I have a full-time job. I work for a government as an analyst, so I'm a coordinator guy. I own several homes in West Virginia and North Carolina, but looking to get into the market of commercial, so I make some new friends and explore my living.
Welcome.
See that new Miss Cheer.
She's just, she's
Yeah,
good.
I saw her say.
Oh, okay.
I did you again.
I'm Renee Pierre. I'm a wholesaler in Baltimore County, Baltimore City. And today I'm mostly looking for a developer. So if you know somebody, let me know. And I'm also looking for somebody who rehabs the so-called junkers in the city. So if that's you, let me know.
Now, what is your definition of a junker?
Well,
Is it a low-income area, or are you talking?
no, the house, it is, but also the house itself is what I'm referring to. There's just, it's almost a shell.
Gotcha.
There's not a whole lot else to it.
Gotcha.
Brian Schenkel, we have a wholesaler, rehab houses from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore City, do turnkey rehabs for newbie investors and the more sophisticated investors. I'm basically a real estate one-stop shop.
Fine.
Hi, my name is Keita Payton. It's my first time attending the meetup. I'm happy I was invited by someone that I don't see them there. But I'm glad I'm here. But I'm a broker in Maryland. I live in D.C. I have property over here in Baltimore. So I wanted to kind of, get in network with people and get into the business of flipping, buying, selling.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sam Graham. Company of Via Farms LLC. Pretty much, we're real estate investors that work with both wholesaling, rehabbing, whatever anybody essentially wants to bring to us. We'll definitely take a look at it. We're always looking for funding, and we're always looking for more deals that come along.
Great.
Good morning, my name is Arnold Austin. I'm with TriStar Realty, Austin Turner Group. And what we do, we are a real estate company. We also do real estate investment. So we look into meet some good people and make a lot of money. All right.
Well,
I'm David Turner. I'm also, this is my partner, with TriStar Realty.
welcome, David.
My name is Corey Guy. I work commercial real estate research. I'm with my partner, trying to get to wholesaling, get to learn, get as much knowledge as we can, work as well we can.
Cool. Commercial real estate research. Exactly.
Pretty much track who does what where, why, how much.
You got it.
Business of information.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Nate Brunson, reestablishing myself in wholesaling with business partner there. Actually, these two gentlemen tried to teach me about 5 years ago, and I didn't take advantage of it, so I'm here to reestablish myself. Thank you.
Nate, welcome back. Okay, let's go on.
My name is James Young. We're Properties by JD. We're new to the area, first time here. We're from California. We put some houses in Illinois, a couple in California. But we're specializing in REOs, but we'll look at anything if there's money to be made.
Yeah, great.
I'm Stephanie Williams. I'm a newbie investor. Hopefully I'll have my first deal come December 31st to rehab. So on the floor we have opportunities and also wholesale.
You said that word.
I will.
I like that. Hi, my name is Jen Jones. I'm a wholesaler at Focus in multiple cities.
Hi, I'm Patty Bernada. This is my first meeting, and I'm excited to learn and meet people, and I'm interested in going into wholesaling.
My name is Alfred Jackson. I'm a return. I'm looking to get started back into wholesaling.
Alfred. I'm Jeffrey Grow. I come to these meetings all the time. I'm trying to learn stuff, trying to meet people, talk to Charles. And I'm learning.
Sound like you're tired.
Hi, my name is Jessica Dolbeck. I'm first learning, so here really for education and to build my network of team of people that will help me succeed. Ultimately, I want to be in multifamily housing and commercial real estate.
I'm Marty Saunders. I'm the broker for Advanced Realty. I'm always looking to buy properties on the northeast side. Hopefully you guys will give me a call and say, hey Marty, I got something for you because we pay cash and we close quick. Also, we're doing new construction, modular home building, and the modular homes. I've gotten lots of information. These guys are now willing to deal. The prices are dropping. Did you hear what I said? The prices are dropping. So we can either put it on your land, you can put it on our land, whatever the deal is, we can do it. Call me. We can do it.
Thank you, Mark.
Good morning, Ronald Silence, and I'm a real estate investor, and I focus on Baltimore City.
Hello, I'm Rashida George, and Marty is my broker, wholesale investor. My license up for a while, and I work for Section 8.
Oh, what's the market? What's the market? We got inside of here.
Specifically in Baltimore County.
Oh, where the big money is. Hey, what's your name? Okay, Rashida.
Okay.
Let's have lunch sometime.
Questions, if you need anything, let me know.
I call her all the time.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She utilizes me.
All right, after all.
Now, exactly what you do is that shit.
Okay, I mainly work with the landlord. I pay the landlord. I give information to new landlords and also to the new tenants as well. So the new people that come on, and I calculate the tenants rent.
What brings you to the meeting?
Just learning more, learning more and trying to
You
find
saw
out
the
what else I
landlord,
can
you
do.
saw the landlord checks.
That's what it was.
There you go, darling. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Good morning. I'm Peyton Branson. Hi there. Thanks for inviting me.
Good morning.
I'm a longtime landlord in Baltimore City.
I know what you mean. That's why I don't have any. They lost it.
Would you like to what I'd like to do is start working with good properties. And I do that because I understand it's properties are generally in better shape. Realtor can work it for you. Set up the right circumstances for them to do it. Follow you. Very, very anxious to do so.
Well,
Thank you.
Anthony Kernan, wholesaler. I had some things working last month and it fell apart.
The Rosedale one?
Did it. But see, that was a learning experience. See, I took the failure of a situation and I pulled the lessons from it.
Yeah.
Lesson 1. Next time I go do something like that, don't be so nice on the price. I want 20 cents on the dollar and let you come back and tell me what works. I overpriced myself clearly. I understood that. So knowing that, I'm that much smarter.
There you go.
And it has inspired me now to go out and find the next townhouse to go do. The other one was a probate, and they have no concept of what their property is really worth, so I called them back in January. Hopefully I have something to tell y'all then. In any event, I'm looking to work with anybody who's looking to purchase anything, particularly cash buyers. I'm building my buyers list. I've even hooked up with a real estate agent, so I'm really working MLS like you wouldn't believe. And I'm coming through with some opportunities. So if you're looking to buy property, let's exchange information.
Thank you, Anthony.
Angelo Knox, I'm also a wholesaler looking to build my buyers list, looking for cash buyers. In addition, I am also a lead paint inspector. So if you guys have any real properties, of course, you need it to be lead paint inspected before you can have your tenants move in. I'm the guy for that as well. I have some cards on the table, and I have some additional cards on me as well.
Hi, Miles O'Reilly. I'm an investor from the real estate agent. I've done over 2,000 BTOs.
Oh.
And also can represent. Keeps the lights on.
Oh yeah, $40 here, $80 here. For those of you who don't know, BPO is just broker's price of thing. These are the guys, or should I say, a BPO agent is an agent that goes out, gives estimates to the actual bank, and let the bank know what they believe the value of that property is once they put it back on the market from the stage of being in the portfolio to being a REO just for sale. And these are the guys that go out there and price it for them.
That's not all. I also represent a company called the Money Exchange.
Okay.
Money Exchange is a hard money lender. It's all internet-based. You go into the website, you put your deal in, there's a form to do it, you submit it, and within 48 to 72 hours, you'll have an answer what they'll lend, if they'll lend.
Right.
Okay? That's what I do.
Have you gotten any type of feedback as relationship to working in Baltimore County, or in a particular area?
No particular. They don't care where it is. It's so deal-based. All they want is the facts. That's right. Give me the facts.
Correct. Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm in Washington, Friday Group, just a wholesaler and just here in the network. Thanks.
I'm Uncle Andy. I'm a real estate auctioneer with Express Auctioneers. Now, Larry Mikowski is the auctioneer, and I'm the guy that works with you to help to get your property sold. One thing that I'm not hearing today is I'm not hearing of anybody wanting to be a bird dog. As you know, when you are a bird dog, you might get somewhere between $200 to $500 if you're going to give somebody a lead. If you in turn give me a property and I sell it at auction, I will, depending upon the amount of time you spend with me and the client, 10% to 20% of the 10% that I receive. I sold a house just on December the 4th for $134,000. I told we would get probably $120,000. I'm writing a check to the person who gave it to me, who's not an agent, who's not an investor, for $2,600. Would you rather have 2 to 5 or 10% of what it is that I make?
Now, if you keep coming to these meetings, you'll learn not to take 2 to 5. We're going to talk about that as well.
Good morning. My name is Ron Saunders from New York, Pennsylvania. I'm originally from Baltimore. I've been a member since the beginning of Real Deal. I invest in the Baltimore and New York, Pennsylvania area. And up in PA, it's cash money. They don't only do wholesale, they usually buy wholesale. If you have any property in PA or what someone does, just let me know.
Welcome again, Jerome. You come all the way from PA, don't you? You come all the way from Pennsylvania, remember?
Yeah.
I'm Marge McGarry. This is my 4th meeting. I am a new real estate investor. My company is Million Homes. I'm retiring at the end of this month, and next year I am planning to do some joint ventures down in this Georgia County to get started. So, well, dipping my toes in the water next month.
Okay. Let's make it happen.
All right, let's make it happen. Good. What I want to kind of share with you a little bit about myself. My name is Kenneth Michael Gills, and I'm a real estate investor. But really, I go by the name of real estate strategist. And if you talk to me a little bit later on, I'll share with you the reason why I go by the handle of real estate strategist. But one thing I wanted to express to you right now is follow me a little bit. Before I got into real estate investing, I was in the military. In the military, I was in the Navy, and we did a lot of different things. Besides being on ships, we had various missions that we did. And certain things we learned in our missions to help us do the missions better that translate into real estate investing. I want to share one of those nuggets with you. You want to get a nugget?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to hear this nugget?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You want to hear the nugget. Because this right here is the nugget I want to share with you. Some of you may have heard this before, but for those of you who haven't, there you go. For those of you who have, kind of a reminder. So, we're ending the end of this year, 2012, right? We're looking forward to 2013, okay? One thing I learned when I was in the service was, okay, over to the point in time, we wanted to do certain things, but you had to be an expert with the pistol. And I didn't have an expert. So I didn't have an expert with it. So I had to work with the SEAL team to better understand how they hit the target. Okay? Hit the target, you get the job. You don't hit the target, you don't get the job. You follow me on this right here? Okay. Now, what I began to find out was there was something very small that makes a big difference. Okay? Certain times the small things make a big difference, all right? Now, water boils at what temperature? What's it, 212? 212. What does water do at 211 degrees? Well, what is it doing? You can make tea with it, right? You can make some coffee with it. Who wants to just take a bath? But you can do things with it, right? That's about it. But what can you do when it turns 212? You can make steam. When you make steam, what can you do with steam? Drive something. And when you drive something, what can you do with what you drive? You can move things, right? Like, what can you move? A train, a locomotive. What can locomotives move? Everything. People, lumber, you name it, right? So you can move from where can you move it from? Anywhere. Right? Anywhere, correct? So now we're talking about 1 degree of difference that separates a cup of tea from moving millions of people on a yearly basis clean across the United States and back and forth. Just 1 degree. 211 degrees, 212 degrees. Just 1 degree. You go down just 1 degree, the train stops. Nothing happens. In the meantime, our investment career is like that train. Nothing is stopped. Nothing is moving forward. Nothing is happening. I wonder why nothing is happening. And the reason why nothing is happening is because we don't have that degree. That 1 degree. They say, oh, well, I got the other 209, 210, so what? I came to the meeting today, that's nice, but so what? You need that other degree. And a lot of times the other degree is persistence, is continuing to move forward. So to give you an example of what that degree was for me, is this right here. Now, what I want everyone to do is this. Take your hand like this. Everyone take your hand like this, okay? Now, look at that green dot with both eyes. Do you see it? Now, close your right eye and leave your left eye open. While you're looking through that, your hand. Now, switch eyes. Did the green dot jump out of one to the other? Isn't that crazy how that happens? What the member of the SEAL team told me was he said, hey, there's 2 things you're doing that's the reason why you're not hitting your target. Number 1, you're not leading with a strong eye. There's one eye stronger than the other. Look at the target. Okay. And he said, now close one eye and you'll see one that just completely jumps out. I said, wow, that freaked me out. Next thing he did was he gave me a revolver. I only put one bullet in it. And then when I went to fire, I fired, but I didn't have, and the one where there was no bullet in there, my hand still jumped back. And he said, you're anticipating the fire, so therefore just a little bit of a move is causing you to be off. This little thing helped me better efficiently do my job. This one little degree. I had all the hunger, all the passion, all the gung-ho, hoorah, maybe that I wanted to, but I couldn't do my job. One degree. Now, when you're an investor, there's one degree, there's many, many myths. Want to know what that one degree is? You want to know what that one degree is? What's going on here? We need a round of coffee for everybody. And here we go with this one degree. Many wake up and don't know who they are. They say, I want to be an investor. What the heck is being an investor? What is your purpose? What are you looking to do when you begin to invest? You should have that written down on a piece of paper that you keep in your pocket and your wallet. And I'm not going to ask. I'm going to demand that anyone that comes to the Real Deal meeting write this down, and when the next time you come to the meeting, pull that paper out and tell us what you are and what your intentions are. This paper should tell.
In fact, you've got to take it one step further. That's the reason why we created Real Accountability. Because you should be accountable to your success.
Now what I want to add is you have to write it down. There's a phrase. If it's not written down, it does not exist. If it's not written down, it does not exist. And the reason why you have to write this down is this. When you write it down, it tells you what you should be doing. It keeps you on track and on target. And I work with me, because the past majority of my adult life in the service and military, so I use some of those analogies to help me articulate my point. Is that okay with y'all?
Yeah.
So you go into the room, and you have to go and take out a target, okay? So you go to the room, there's a target. Now what do? You go in the room where there's no target, and then fire shots, and later on, draw a circle around each target, say, hey, hit the bullseye? It doesn't work that way, right? No. But that's what many of us do. We get up to, hey, I want to be an investor, and we just go out and just do stuff and wonder why we never get to where we want to be. There's no direction. There's no target, no aim. The target is that paper you have in your pocket. A target is what you pull out. And that what you pull out says that this is how we reverse engineer 2013. If I want to do this, then I must be doing this to get that. If I want to bake a cake, what do I need to bake a cake? Ingredients. If I want to be an investor, or I want to make a certain amount of money, what are the ingredients for what I need to look for? This is how you reverse engineer what it is that you're looking for.
Now, just to take that one step further, the piece of paper you're putting in your pocket, the ingredients you're writing down, what happens if you don't write down the right ingredients to the cake? You won't have a cake that will taste pretty well. So it's important to write down the ingredients, but those ingredients better be the right ingredients for that cake to be what you want it to be afterwards.
So exactly, it has to be the right ingredient, and that comes from being in the right environment. Getting yourself, that's one thing that I strongly suggest, get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, someone to help you. I have a coach, I have a mentor that helps me. Last Sunday, she was in the ABC News Journal giving business advice, and is a frequent to the White House for advising individuals on business management and business structure. You need someone that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, someone that's going to push you beyond your comfort zone. Even if coming to this meeting makes you feel uncomfortable, getting around individuals who are doing more than what you're doing is the only way possible to succeed, to grow, to do it. Yes.
How do you find that coach?
The way that, what I would suggest is this right here. You say, the way that you find that coach, that mentor, this is very, very, very crucial. And this is what I would say, because of years experience from myself vetting and working with many different coaches. Your coach has to be unique to you, your personality type. It's not one size fits all. What also has to be understood is where do you want to be at in life? And what coach can best help you get to where you want to be? Some coaches are good for today, and some coaches are good for a lot longer period. Some coaches I've hired is that they've helped me learn this one technique or this one strategy that I may need to do for a short term, and some have been helpful on a much longer period. So from my personal experience, what I found is that when I'm interviewing for a coach, I had to first know what I want. What you write on the piece of paper that you have, it has to work for you. Real estate is supposed to support you, not you support real estate. Many get into real estate investing and they're working hard doing all this stuff and they're supporting real estate. Real estate is sitting over here saying, I'm glad you're working hard for me, when really real estate is working hard for you and you're supposed to be doing what you want to do. These lessons I learned from making mistakes that no one taught me. It was like, hey, just to go do a deal. Hey, it's not just to do a deal, it's to create a systematic business that supports your lifestyle and your dream that you have.
Now, on the other side of that, you can go around for the next 2 years searching for a mentor that fits that. That's not what you want to do in the grand, should I say, scheme of things, because you still need to be successful. So does that success means that you should not try or start until you find that mentor? No, it doesn't mean that. What it does mean is that everybody has a button in them that other person can push and get them above that next level. I gave an example. Remember 2 weeks ago I made that little offer of 30 minutes, I'll talk to 10 people a week and so on. I had one guy call me 3 weeks ago. And he had everything going right. He just needed that little push. That's all it was. Kenny talked about that 1 degree that separates boiling water from just being no use at all other than just hot water. Out of that 3 weeks, he's at the stage right now, just right now, and I don't see him here today because if I would, I would call him out. But he's at the stage right now where he has a deal that's in Owings Mills, 9 acres, valued over $1 million. Getting it under contract for $400,000. This is going to be a great deal for him. It wasn't anything that I did. He already had the right ingredients. He just needed a little push to say, keep on moving forward. Don't give up. So finding that mentor is not going to be as easy as it may seem to be. Because a lot of mentors is going to say, well, and you know this, how much you going to pay me? Well, my time is valuable. I've spent 30 years learning real estate investing. And if you want to get my knowledge, don't you think it's worth something? That's natural, because that mentor is absolutely correct. He spent 10, 15, 20 years learning his craft, and before he wants to share it with somebody, he wants to be paid for it. But when we're in this stage at the beginning, we may not have that kind of money to pay for it. For me, my mentor came along because I offered to work for him at no cost. That's how I got around the I don't have the money. And he took me up on it gladly. My salary was $50 a week and lunch. That was it. And I worked in this business full time for 8 months. Now, was it a good exchange? A lot of you say, well, 8 months working somebody for $50 a week. Well, the results of after 8 months, I was a full-time investor. I've been a full-time investor for over 20 years. I've done $1 million commercial deals. I've purchased hundreds of houses. But it started off with working with somebody for 8 months for $50 a week. I'll take that change any day. But that's what I'm trying to say. You have to say, what value can I give if that value isn't monetary? Can I give something to that mentor? And Kenny used to tell something that I used to hear him talk about when he used to coach with these students and stuff. He used to say, your time has to be more valuable to you than it is for me. Because I'm not depending upon your success, you are.
Exactly.
And he used to say that all the time. If you can't reach me 2 times, 3 times, and you give up on the 4th time, you wasn't worth my time. Because you have to keep on keeping on.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. One y'all think so, exactly. It was kind of funny. Somebody may have heard that expression. We were talking about at a meeting, and a gentleman came up, and say, hey, you know, I've been trying to reach you 6, 7 times, you haven't responded 6, 7 times. I came here to tell you that I quit, I give up, I'm through, and I'm pissed off you didn't call me. And I'm like, well, thank you for not answering the phone. Because had I answered the phone, you would have wasted my time. How can your dream be more important to me than you? It's your dream. I can't love your dream more than you. I don't even know what you want. So how can I want it for you if you don't even know what you want for yourself? It's just life. That's the way things work. One thing that's also really true and crucial that Charles and I talk about a lot is next meeting we want to give a prize to whoever takes the most notes. Because at the end of the day, you have to write this stuff down, record this stuff here. If you do not, and then at the beginning I didn't have a certain amount of money to pay $10,000 a month for these coaches, but we were a sponge, soaking it all up. You can soak up all this information, write all this stuff down, and then go home. I have all these books at home. You would think it was like the Britannica library, but none of them were books with notes. And it's funny because I go look at these old notes, and I'm like, what's MLS? Let's find out. Oh boy, anyway, how could you not have known that?
And then when you're in this environment, you've heard the experience that's in this room. The names of that experience should be in your Rolodex, and every time you come to this meeting, how do you find a coach? Every time you come to this meeting, you get that in front of that person's face and say, hey, what are you talking about this? And you do this, and you do that. That's what you need to do. Kenny comes here every month, and in the beginning of the meetings, maybe 2 people will come up to him to say hello and all that good stuff. The same for myself. We're here to give you as much content, information as you could withstand. The same way with all these experienced investors here. You got it, and we've said this years ago, be comfortable
with being uncomfortable.
That's the key. I know a lot of you are going to say, well, I'm afraid to get up and talk to somebody, but I don't know what to say. Well, how about I'm unemployed? And that's what's going to happen in this business if you don't get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Exactly. You know, there's energy, okay? And this is how it works. The energy that you use to go out and speak to someone, if you don't do that, because you say it's too hard, that same energy is going to be used to keep you where you're at. Now the question is, which state do you prefer? When you get tired of tomorrow looking like yesterday, that's when you're going to make a decision. Because there's an energy that's keeping you where you're at right now, that's preventing you from moving forward. But you're going to say, you know what, after a while, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get tired, and you're going to hate where you're at so bad, so much, that you'll have the energy to break through it. Now, do it have to get that bad for you to break through it? I mean, does it have to? No, it doesn't have to. But for some, they choose to.
Now, back on that uncomfortable talking to people. Who actually feels that way? And this is total exposure. This is about the real deal. So who actually feels uncomfortable talking to people? Okay. Even on the telephone as well? Okay, here's a little exercise you can do. And let's just do this with all our students who use training. Grab a Sunday newspaper. I got a questionnaire, it was about 12 questions, and I'll mail it to you. Take down my email address right now, charles@page1success.com. I want you to do this exercise this week, starting tomorrow. Since Sunday is tomorrow, you get the Sunday's newspaper. Contact 25 sellers in the newspaper using the questionnaire I'm going to send you. So if you send me an email today at charles@page1success.com, I will send you the questionnaire that you're going to ask each and every last one. O-N-E. Yes, page1one.com. I'll send you the questionnaire tonight. Make it a goal that you will talk to 25 homeowners on the telephone by calling them in the Sunday newspaper with houses for sale. Now, the first thing you just did is you're dealing with somebody that's expecting to get a phone call. You don't have to worry about, well, I don't know this person have a house they want to sell. They have a house in the paper and they're looking to sell it. So you're getting the real estate section in the Sunday newspaper, and you're going to call 25 sellers and talking to them and ask them the questions that's on the questionnaire I'm going to send you. How many of you going to commit to that? Wow. Now, you got names. How many of y'all going to actually commit to it? Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do. The website is right here. RealAccountability.com. That's real-accountability.com. The minute you complete that task, put it on the website. The minute you complete that task, contacting 25 sellers who have a property for sale in the newspaper and filling out that paperwork. That's the first step to overcoming that fear, because practice does make perfect. In this business, it's all about the negotiating. And when you can get on the phone and talk to that seller and get that information that's going to be on that questionnaire, trust me, there's nothing you'll be able to do when it comes to negotiating with a seller, because some of those questions are going to make you feel comfortable being uncomfortable.
Now, what we also do is this is another thing that I do with some of the individuals that I've worked with in the past. This here helps out. What I like to do is, from my studies, I've learned that these deals and transactions, this may seem like a joke, but it's actually true. A monkey can do it. I mean, really, it's not really that hard. It really isn't. The hardest part is psychological.
The fear in your mind.
Psychology is the hardest part. Anything that you do in life is actually in the day about 80% psychology. 80%. So since I know it's about 80% psychology, this is what I've come up with. Now I'm going to do this with y'all right here as well, okay? Now, what I need for you to do is this, okay? I need y'all to tell me something that you like you just ordinarily like to do, like a treat. That's something that's rewarding for you. Yes.
I take my wife to dinner.
Take your wife to dinner. Okay, great.
Spa day.
I'm sorry?
Spa day.
Okay, so we got
Well,
here's the spa.
Food with wife.
Here's the spa.
Spa. Okay, what else?
Going to the beach.
Going to the beach.
On a cruise.
Beach cruise. Okay, what else?
Outback steak.
Okay, Outback Steakhouse. Okay, great. Now, this is my question. Now, what is something that you absolutely just loathe? Something that you just absolutely just hate? Just the thought about it just makes you just get like, oh.
Go to Home Depot with my husband.
Go to Home Depot. Okay, it can be anything. Like, give me a charity that you just, or like even if it's an organization. What's an organization that you just can't? And this nobody is not. We're not taking. We're not judging. Okay, but like an organization that you just, like I said, this is the real deal. I'm talking about an organization that you just can't stand.
I hate organizations that get on TV with pets that are like half dead and falling apart, and the music is all sad. It lasts for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hold on. Now, to be the devil's advocate, to be honest with you, that's the only way they can get people to give them money.
Yeah, but it's so hard.
Right, but that's good. That's what you hate.
Okay.
But that's what you hate, though. So when you look at that, no matter where you move, that dog is looking at you. Put some money in my paw. Okay, that's the organization you hate. What's another organization you hate?
Verizon.
Verizon. Okay, that's good. Okay, so Verizon, right? Okay, so this is what you do. Okay. This is what works. Psychologically, okay, there are things already in our mind that we love. There are things already in our mind that we loathe, that we hate. So what you do is association. Those who in turn make the phone call tomorrow, make an agreement that after we make these calls, I'm taking my wife out for dinner. I'm going to do a spa day. I'm going to do some kind of mini vacation. And if I don't do this, I got to take $20 and donate to the Verizon organization. They got to take $20 and give to some organization that you just hate. The organization that makes your skin curl. And that $20 is going to curl back.
In fact, I have the perfect organization. It's called the Charles Blair Fund. A great organization.
And this is what we do. So when I'm working with someone, when we sit down down and we talking one-on-one. I said, this is what you got to do. And they said, really? And she told me the organization that she actually hates. But she knows what we want to do. I said, what's the organization you hate? She said, oh, I just can't stand this organization. All they do is just take and lie. I said, well, that's good. Because if you don't do what you said that you're going to do, you have to give them $20. She said, oh, I didn't give them $20. I said, well, if you don't do this, you will. Now, are you a woman or a man on your word? They said, yes. I said, well, then great. So now this is what you have to do. She said, well, I will die before I get a $20. But then we know it's going to be done. Now, there's also a little thing that I have as well that kind of breaks down some more of this information. I'll give y'all my email address toward the end to kind of help you out with that process. But this is a great way. In our mind, what I've learned is psychology. You don't have to program yourself to learn something new. You're already programmed already. The key to those who are very successful learn how to work with what's already existing in their mind, or how to go about doing it. I know there are things I love to do. When I do those things, I get a reward. When I don't do things, there's a punishment.
How many guys had that whole thought, especially starting out, was, well, what if the contract get accepted? Then what? What do I do then? I know I want to do deals, but I don't know how bad I want to do it that way. Well, it's not the hardest thing in the world to get from point A, B, C. I'll tell you the reason why. We just finished talking about that the biggest obstacle in your success is your mind. It's the fear you have that if somebody doesn't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to be made to look like a fool because I'm greedy and I'm doing this and all that. But what's the upside of it? A $5,000 paycheck from doing a wholesale deal, a $500 fee from doing another deal, a $20,000 paycheck for doing a rehab deal or something. The upside is far more better than the actual fear itself. And if you think about that upside enough, that fear will get knocked down. For a lot of us, and I was the exact same way. I wasn't an investor until I did my first deal, until I made money. Because that's when I became an investor in my mind, was when I made money. Up until that point, I was a joke to my family, friends, and relatives. I wasn't an investor. I read a book on television, and now I'm trying something new. That's what I was until I made that first check. But when I made that first check, I became Uncle Charles, and I was, well, it was a good feeling to say, what you want? But let me just say, it's a wonderful feeling to have the success in this business. And don't think of this business as a box, because so a lot of you have what you would call the normal stuff for success in this business. Wholesalers, rehabbers, contractors, rehabbers, real estate agents. Those are what you would call the low-hanging fruit in this business. There's other areas of this business that you can do, like lease with options to buy types of deals, like tenant placement deals, like guaranteed rent programs and so on. So there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that you may not be mixed, like he would say, you may not be in the right scheme of strategies based on what's right for your personality. So identify what really matters to you. And the way you do that is by saying and identifying your finances. Where am I at financially? I always believe that to try to do something that's counterproductive to your financial situation is a recipe for failure. If you're going bankrupt, but yet you want to stick to doing buying and holding, you're going to go bankrupt. Because buying and holding is not the strategy that's going to give you the quick hits of income you need to get out of that situation. So you have to choose that strategy. First, look at the problem that you need to solve. If you're working right now and everything is great, then you know you have a couple opportunities to wait and choose the right strategy. But if you're in this business and you're underneath of desperate means, you need to get that strategy that's going to give you the quickest results. Not because somebody made $60,000 flipping a house that took 6 months, but really that $60,000 was only $32,000, and when you factor in the taxes, it was really only $21,000, and so on and so on and so on. So choose the best strategy based on your financial situation as it relates to what's happening in your life right now. That's one lesson.
Another thing I want to add, one thing that Charles and I were talking about is we're going into 2013. And we want to share what works with you or work with us. And I'm thinking if I was in, we're working with hundreds of different investors, thousands of investors, I want to know some of the information that I've seen work. So that way you say, hey, having this conversation with Charles and myself, literally having a conversation with thousands of investors to figure out what worked and what didn't work, as well as learning from each other within the group. So we can go on for hours, but what I'm sharing with you are little nuggets that I thought about that actually work, that can work the difference. So these are very crucial. Writing it down on a piece of paper is really important. One of the other things that writing it down is important because you have to have an identity. The thing that affects us the most is what they call an identity crisis, not knowing who you are. When you go into this investing arena, one of the reasons why you have to have a strong identity is because as soon as you establish that you are something, everything will become to attack. Everything will make you question. Charles mentioned about family. Oh, I can share with you so many countless times that family has told me, hey Ken, you got a job working for the White House, why would you give that good money up? Hey, it was good, I enjoyed serving my country, doing what I was doing, but at the end of the day, my next chapter was something different. Everything you do, people are going to question. And that's not as bad as when you start to question yourself. Because there's nobody to stop you from doing that because you're you. There's nobody unless you got really mental problems. Stop! Stop questioning yourself. Like, well, who the heck are you? That won't happen. What's going to happen is when you begin, that seed of doubt will grow into an oak tree. And what will happen is this. Many of you know that I'm in the LA Care senior citizen homes. This is what I do. One thing I've got to see that really has profoundly affected me is this. It was a gentleman. I was going to the home, check on, make sure everything was running smooth. And I saw him sitting on the front porch. And I said, hey, buddy, how's it going? You know, I'm being charged up. I said, where I go? I said, you know what, this is not too good. I said, why? He said, I'm just sitting here waiting to die. I said, oh, no, don't bring that on anybody here, man. Don't say that. He said, well, I am. I said, why do you say that, man? He said, because it doesn't matter what type of ideas I have, what I want to do. Who's going to do an old man? I'm just sitting here with all these things I want to do that means absolutely nothing. A few minutes later, he did that. And that has like burned in me that there will be a time, and a lot of these individuals in these elderly care, they didn't know. Tomorrow just woke up. They said, the philosopher said this, that man invented the clock so he wouldn't experience life all at once. Things happen so quick. Sometimes you're only spectrum of time or kids. You ever see like kids, you're like, oh, you grew up. I can't believe how, well, are you sure you're like 15? Like, they just see, if it wasn't for these outward things that happen, we wouldn't even know how fast time goes. Before you know it, you won't have an ability to do what you want to do. Before you know it, time will be gone. And the only thing you'll be is a person saying, I wish. And then you'll be that person sitting there, you need it. I'm like, yeah, whatever, old man, keep on going. You don't want that. You owe it to who?
Yourself.
One more time, you owe it to who?
Yourself.
Yes, you do. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. You were here for a purpose that only you can fulfill. And one thing Charles and I have learned, and we share on a regular basis, is real estate may just be the vehicle for you to do something that you want to do. You don't have to love real estate. You don't even have to say, I even like a house. But you can like the money and the ability it gives you to do something else. There's a lot of money to be in real estate that can help you. Real estate, I tell you, we talk about talking to people. I am a shy person. When in high school, I was very shy. I was like, really, the only reason why, we talk about association. I love to help people to a fault. That is the only reason why I can talk to you. Because I love to help people. If it wasn't me helping, I couldn't even say what, well, I would have to have it all written down. I would have to only be talking to one person, and one person would have to have sunglasses on and be asleep. I don't want idiots. They look over, it hurt me, you know. The only why I can talk to you is because I care. If for some reason to a fault, I just want to help. That's what Charles and I do. We just want to help. So I associate me speaking with you, sharing with you my experiences as helping with you at the end of the day. So real estate can just be a vehicle to get you to where you want. You don't even have to love it.
In this business, in life, we were taught that perception isn't what? It isn't reality. It's perception. It's not reality. In your business, it's just the opposite. Because before you can make an impression to convince somebody to sell one of the highest commodity items they have, that perception that person has on you, or that perception that person has, is going to drive them to do business with you. So you will get business from people who don't even know you, but because of your perceived success as an investor, they will risk their highest item as relationship to value with you. And you have to realize that. So there's a saying that also says you got to fake it before you make it. It couldn't be any more true in real estate. And it's a double-edged sword. Because on the side of the homeowner, they don't want to see an investor that's faking it. They want to see an investor that's making it. But you, as a beginner investor, you better show them an investor that's making it and not an investor that's faking it. So,
one thing I want to add to that, when it's also so true in that, one thing that really helps with the whole faking you're making is the mentality. Right. And this is the mentality. You may not know, but if you came to that event more prepared, that's where your confidence comes from. Get prepared. Now, I'll share with you in the very beginning, this is me just showing you that you don't have to go to this extreme. Now, about 8 years ago, when I first got into real estate investing, the thing that had to happen to me for my preparedness is at the time I was going through a divorce. And I wrote down a piece of paper and I found in my book the things that frightened me. One thing that frightened me was not being able to provide for my kids. So when you leave your job, there is no unemployment. There is no going to another job. You got to make it. So I wrote down, I will be a great father and all about my kids. So I made sure that when we talk about getting uncomfortable, some of the things I did to make myself uncomfortable was I got rid of my bed. I threw my bed away. Why? Because it made me comfortable, made me sleep. Like, oh, this is so nice and warm and comfy. I want to stay in here a little bit longer. So what I did was I bought myself a bed from IKEA, one of those clamshell beds that had a little thin mattress on there. I couldn't wait to get up in the morning. Remember, I didn't even want to sleep. I was going up and, what a long, oh no, it ain't going that. And that bed had springs and like because you want to start telling military secrets when you were in a bed. So it was nobody even asking for secrets. I was like, hey, one bomber didn't sit up and move. So I was like, okay, so that right there. So then another thing that I did was when I was out, I was going around looking at houses, I started to realize that, hold on, this all happened one time I went to McDonald's, no, it was Burger King, in North Avenue, when you go drive through there. That line was so long. Then by the time I got out, I had to find a place to park, and I said, you know what, that was an hour. So what I did was I kept a gallon of water and some trail mix.
I remember the trail mix.
That's what happened. What is that? That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's what that is. That's what I did. But hey, I'm on the streets. I don't got time to stop, you know, but that right there. What I also did was I kept, when I woke up, I had my track shoes by my bed, so that way as soon as I got up, I hate running. I was like, I'm a big guy. I don't got it. If you see me running, don't ask questions. You just run too. There's something so big, so mammoth, and so deadly that I don't even want it. So don't even ask questions. If you see me running, we all just start running. So I got said, man, I'm too big to run. I wasn't so. Why do I got to run? Man, I was in boot camp. But I hated it. And so if I can get across the thing I hate the most, everything else is easy. So I put those track shoes by. As soon as I got up, my feet went to the track. So then if I said, okay, well, to get this out of the way, everything else will be easier. What I'm saying is the things that one had to do. So when we talk about fake until you make it, when I went to go do that deal, I said, you know what, it's only 10 o'clock, my day is hell already. So I just slept in torture chamber, I just had trail mix, and I just got to running 3 miles. So hey, I'm here, you know, I was so pumped after that right there. So I had so much hunger, so much desire, and so much passion for what it was I was doing. When you do that and you are serious, you approach your dream like that, you are real, and things begin to come to you for that because they are attracted to you. Opportunities start making their way to you because they see that you are serious for it. They see that you want it. If you, my old mentor told me this, if you approach this business casually, you will end up a casualty. You have to approach it seriously. And if nobody don't think you're serious, why are they going to take you serious?
Yes, sir.
If you come to me and you're not serious, you think I'm going to waste my time? No. Why? Because I'm preventing myself from helping out the person who needs it, who is serious.
Now, one of the things I used to do to fake it before I make it was one of the biggest obstacles you have is the fact that you haven't done any deals, right?
Right.
Person comes to you and say, well, what kind of experience you guys got? Or what kind of experience you have? I used to say, well, my team and I have done plenty of deals. We bought properties here, we bought properties there. Now, who was my team? My team was other investors that I knew. So that was my team. So that was my faking it before I make it. I used that, and my team and I have done a lot of deals with them. So that's one of the things I used to do. One of the things you're going to realize in this business, how many of you don't even have a business card printed yet? Don't have a business card. Do you believe that this is a business for you? I can count over the years, I've gotten about 2 or 3 deals off of a business card. And what I mean by that, the person took my card, called me back 6, 7 months later, I got a deal. Now, it was an investment of $29, $30, or $10 from Vistaprint. But fake it before you make it. Convince yourself that you are a successful investor, and 75% of the issues are.
Exactly.
If you can do that, it's gone.
Then you have to do what a successful investor does. And the one thing I've learned from working with a lot of individuals is this right here. We all have a certain amount of time, okay? So this is how I look at it. That I see it like in life, you got these buckets in front of you, okay? Now you're given this one big bucket. This is how many this bucket has 24 liters of water. Every time you wake up, there's 24 liters of water. Now, their water starts pouring out. And nothing you can do to stop it from pouring out. The difference is where you pour that into what bucket. Now, some pour the bucket into, you won't believe what he said and what she said. I can't believe this or I can't believe that or what this person's doing. And believe it or not, this book goes into the gossip. This book goes into the gossip. Some of the other the liters of water goes into the buckets of anything, maybe television. But then we wonder why, at the end of the day, the bucket for being an entrepreneur, being free, and being independent that we want, why that bucket is not working for us. Is there's no water in it. And if there is very little, many times we'll work 40 hours a week for somebody else when we work 1 hour a week for ourselves. If you only worked 1 hour a week at your job, would you expect a large paycheck? Matter of fact, would you even expect a paycheck? Wouldn't you be fired? You wouldn't even you'd be fired. They'd have a security saying, do not come back. If this person comes back, you're not even allowed, we don't even want you to work 1 hour a week here. You can't even come back. So how can you expect to work for yourself for fewer than what you work for somebody else, but expect a much larger return? Life don't work like that. It doesn't. When you understand life doesn't work like that, you understand that this is why. You cannot, this is one thing you learn, you cannot see yourself as part of a solution unless you see yourself as part of the problem. Until you see yourself as part of the problem, you can never fix it. The reason why we are where we're at today is because of what we thought yesterday. And because of what we acted on yesterday. When you change the thoughts and your actions, then things will change. Even if it goes worse, you know what not to do. That's fine. You don't have to wait for a mentor. You don't have to wait for a coach. You don't have to wait for anyone. Just get out and just do something. Something different than what you've done yesterday. And you will have a much different return, a much different result.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys one of the biggest myths in real estate investing. I know a lot of you guys have probably fell for this myth. But this is really a true myth. That if you become an investor, then you now have the time to do whatever whatever you want. You're firing your boss, and now you're independent. No. You think that real estate investing, actually, we've been taught from the gurus that real estate investing means I'm in charge, I don't have to worry about, I can quit my job. You're just trading one job for another. Because every aspect of real estate investing revolves around you working. So if you fire your boss, you still have a job of being a wholesaler. You still have a job of being a rehab. You still have a job of being a buy and hold investor. You just traded who's the boss of that job. That's the one myth that a lot of investors think is the most glamorous thing about being an investor, is that now you no longer have a job. No, you have a job. There's no area of real estate investing that will give you the luxury of only working 1 hour a day and now I'm done. It's a constant job.
One of the things that make it rewarding is not, it doesn't consider labor, but it's what you love to do. You ever do something, time is relative. You ever meet an old friend and y'all catching up, and you think, wow, this was 2 hours? No way. Where did time go? You ever do something you just love to do and you say, wow, I can't even believe it. That's what the difference is. That when you're doing things, if you hear someone say, hey, I'm retiring, and they go home after working so many years, their adult life, they go home and do absolutely nothing, what usually happens?
Yeah.
Exactly. If you don't grow, you do what?
Yeah.
So we don't want to not do anything. We just want to do what we want to do. That's all it is. We want to do the things that fulfills us, the things that make us feel rewarded. At the end of the day, truthfully speaking, most people love to do things that make them feel rewarded or in some way helping someone else. When you're doing that, you work because it's not work. You're like, yeah, I'm responsible for myself, but yeah, it feels good. Like we just had a Christmas party for the seniors at one of my homes. I can't express to you how good it felt for me. I went there, and this is kind of unique because I was sitting here in my own mental space thinking back of when it was reversed. But here I was giving y'all a bonus for all the employees. They had a little bit of money, $50 for some, $100 for others, and little envelopes giving them out. And I was like, hey, thanks, Mr. Gill, thanks, Mr. Gill. The seniors that was there, I bought them gifts and came dressed as Santa. Well, you know, the 2012 version of Santa. This Santa a little bit more